Hey kiddos! Today we are gonna make a card for Mother's Day. This is a flower and it's called a hyacinth. They're a very pretty flower and they come in lots of different colors. And it's really cool because the petals are kind of curly, and so we're gonna make our hyacinth kind of a little bit 3D so it sticks off the page a little. Same thing with our leaves, okay? So what you're gonna need, if you're gonna turn this into a card, you're gonna need a sheet of white paper. If you have cardstock, that will be better to use. Construction paper is also gonna be good for that too. So you're gonna need some white, you're gonna need light blue, you're gonna need green, yellow, and your flower can be pretty much any color. Common colors are gonna be like a light pink, purple, even yellow. So you can pick pretty much any color to use for your flower. All right, so if you're not doing a card, you can get a full sheet of light blue paper. It doesn't have to be this big, and then you can put your flower in the center of that, and then we can write Happy Mother's Day on the bottom, okay? So you guys have some options, and let's get started. I'm gonna keep this here so we can remember kind of how we're gonna get started. So if you're making a card, you need a rectangular sheet of paper. This card here is about the size of my hand, okay? But you can do it bigger. So if you have a bigger sheet of paper, just take your two ends, match them up, hold tight on the end, and crease. If you're one of my younger kiddos, you might need to have a parent help you out a little bit during this time. Oh, I also forgot to mention, you're gonna need a glue stick, a pencil, a pen, and some scissors. Or if you have like a cutter like this will come in handy to cut some of the strips that we're doing, okay? And then if you're one of my older kids, you can use a glue gun. This will help you, just make sure you are very careful, okay? All right, so again, if you're making a card, you're gonna get a rectangular sheet of paper, fold it in half, and crease it, okay? What I did is I had a bigger sheet of white paper and then cut my blue paper a little bit smaller. So I layered two pieces together and glued them down. So all you'd really need to do for that is to just get a smaller sheet and then line it up in the middle, crease it over, and then cut it to where it fits on the inside. So we have that little border. So what we do is we can fold that there. And if you have your big paper cutter, you can use that. But I'm just gonna use scissors because this is a small job, okay? So you can do it that way, all right? Think of the colors that your mom likes. You know, if her favorite color is not pink, then pick a color that is. What if it's yellow or purple or blue? So use the things that she likes while you're making this. So as you're getting your card together, make sure that, let's slide all this extra paper away. If you're doing the 2-layer card, you need to make sure that you put glue all on the edges and in the middle of your sheet. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of hold it like this so you can see where the middle is. And then you're gonna press it down, okay? This side doesn't have glue on it yet. So now after that one side is glued down, this will make it easier for this one to go into place without any bubbles or bumps. All right, so we've kind of got our little border there. If you wanted to make it a little bit taller, you could. That was just the piece of paper I had on hand. Plus it gives me a little bit more room to write Happy Mother's Day at the bottom or the top. All right, now you're gonna pick what flower color or actually we're gonna do our stem and our leaves. So this is the sheet of paper I used already, but I'm gonna show you guys how to draw leaves. So let's zoom in. Okay, so you're gonna take your pencil, oopsies, and you're gonna make kind of like a long skinny football. So you're gonna come and curve over like that, and then come up and over like that. For my older kids, this looks kind of like an eye. We've drawn some eyes before this year. Okay, so after you draw one, you're gonna carefully cut it out, because we're gonna use this one to help us draw our next leaf, so they're gonna be really close to perfect, really close to matching. Okay, so after you get that one cut out, I cut most of my pencil marks off, but it's okay if you leave some. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip it over, lay it down, hold it steady, and then just trace around the edge. Okay, after you do that, you're gonna cut that one out as well. I'm just gonna cut all my extra little pencil marks off. All right, now I have my two leaves. Next, you're gonna need this stem to hold your flower up, okay? So all you're gonna need for that is just a small little strip, just depending on the size of your card. So if I'm looking at my card and I put my paper up next to it, my stem should start about here and go about a little bit above the center, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay my paper out here, and then it should be about 1 finger wide. So you put your finger on top of your green sheet of paper. From the edge over, that's about how thick it should be. So then make a little line and then come across. Okay, if you have a ruler, you can totally use that. If not, that's totally fine too. So then you're gonna carefully cut out that rectangle. And there we go. So we got our leaves and our stem. Now we're gonna start adding to it. So we're gonna put glue on the back of our stem. Make sure we go to all the edges and in the middle. The bottom of your stem is gonna go in the center and at the bottom of your colored sheet of paper. Okay, and then just press it down, make sure it's glued on tight, and there you go. What I like to do with my leaves is I like to fold them in half, kind of like that. So you bring the edges together. If they're not perfect, if they don't perfectly match, that's fine. But if you want to trim around there and cut off that, you can. But I'm gonna leave it because I like it being kind of asymmetrical. Okay. Then I like to use hot glue for this part, but if you don't have hot glue, you're just gonna put a dab of the glue stick glue, probably a pretty good bit. And then you're going to put it in the middle of your stem, and then you're gonna put some glue here as well, so it sticks on both ends, so we don't have a leaf falling off, okay? So for my hot glue people, I'm gonna put a little dab on each side, so there, and there. Be very careful. Center it. And there you go. So then we still have our leaf that kind of comes off the page a little. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Fold your leaf kind of in half as best you can. put glue on either point. And then you're going to add it on. And there we go. Now we have the stem and the leaves of our flower. If you were doing a bigger sheet of paper, you can make one big flower, or you can do 2 or 3 smaller ones with a longer stem and have different colors. So that is an option as well. I think for this one, I want to do purple. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna make an oval, all right? But we need to look at our card and see how big our oval can be. It's okay if your oval covers some of your stem, okay? Because your flower's coming off, and then we can have it come all the way up to the top of our card. So I'm gonna line up the top of my paper to the top of my card here. And then I'm gonna put a little mark right across there to show me how big my oval can be. All right, can you guys see that? Just a little mark. And then from the top to the bottom, you're gonna make your oval shape. So an oval is like a really long circle, kind of like the leaves we just made, but it's not gonna be super pointy, okay? You can make it a little bit wider. I think I wanna make mine a little bit wider. Okay. So there, you have your little oval. I drew 2 lines. I'm gonna cut my bigger line, all right? So after you get your oval cut, or drawn, I mean, then you're gonna carefully cut it out. It's okay if it's not perfect. This is just gonna be the base of your flower, and then you're gonna add all the little petals to it, which is really fun. My pre-K students and my kindergarten students have done a lot of paperwork this semester, so you guys should be good at this next part, okay? Then you're gonna put glue on the back. If you have extra pencil marks, put your glue on the side with the pencil marks. Say it with me. Put the glue on the side with the pencil marks. This makes sure that any little mistake or extra line we have gets hidden, okay? So put your glue on the side with the pencil marks. Make sure you go all the way to the edges and in the middle. And then glue it down in the center, press down all the sides, and there you go. That's your base shape for what we're gonna do next, okay? This part for my little ones, you're probably gonna need your parents to help you too. Parents, you can draw the lines for your students, and this is going to be some good cutting practice. Or you can go ahead and cut it for them, okay? So what you're going to do is you're still going to use this purple sheet of paper. If you have a lighter shade of purple, that would be pretty. So instead of, like for this pink one here, I could have used some light pink strips to put in there as well, which would have been really pretty, but that is your choice, okay? I'm just gonna stick with purple here. So I'm gonna make a line kind of across and down. So I have a box, I have a square. And then you can use your ruler. I'm just gonna use my little board here. And you need to have your lines, they're gonna be kind of skinny. They need to be about, this is about 1/4 inch thick, okay? So about that thick. So let me go ahead and cut this for you so you see the size it needs to be. So again, parents, if you want to assist, it would be awesome if you could draw those lines for them, and then your students could have practice cutting them out. Okay, so then after you get them this long, kind of cut it in half. And then we need about 10 to 20 little rectangles, long skinny rectangles like this to make our petals, okay? So I'm gonna use my big cutter here to just make this a little bit quick for us. These are a little thick, but I'll thin them out in just a moment. Okay, I think this should be enough. So now you can gather all your pieces together. You can have some that are thicker than others, and some that are like this probably should be a little bit thinner. If you're using cardstock, they're going to be a little bit harder to curl without getting kind of bumpy. So I'll show you how to help with that in just a moment. So then after you get those, we'll cut them in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have some that are really skinny too. So, all right, I think I have plenty to fill up my hyacinth flower. Okay, now we're gonna pull our card back, and here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use my pencil, and I'm gonna hold my piece of paper around with my thumb, and then I'm just gonna roll it, okay? A lot of you guys have worked on this in my class before, and that's just gonna help it make it to where our flower isn't, our flower petals aren't pointy, okay? So that pencil helped us really make this look good, okay? So then with your glue stick, you're gonna put some glue on the bottom edge here, and then you're gonna wrap it around. And for my little ones, you might want to hold it for a few seconds just to make sure that it sticks nice and well. And if you have like a wet wipe or something, or like a damp paper towel, you can wipe your fingers off on that so your fingers don't get super sticky. Okay, so after you have your circle, you're going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom. And then you're going to start kind of at the bottom of your flower, and then you're going to glue it down, okay? And press with your finger, hold it for a few seconds, and then pull it off, and it should stick, okay? And you're just going to keep going. If you have a hot glue gun, you can use that as well. That's what I like to use just because it's quicker, and I know that my petals aren't going to go anywhere. So my littles, you shouldn't be using that, but some of my older kids, I'm sure that would be fine for you to use if you have one. Ask permission first, okay? All right, and they don't all have to go the same direction. They can go zigzag, they can go left and right, top to bottom. That is your choice. It's a very, very simple little project for you guys, and it can take some time, but I think it's important that we make something sweet for our moms, and I think they'll like it. So then we put some glue. And you want to fill up this whole oval shape, okay? We wrap around. Add your glue. Okay. So I think you guys have got it. So after you finish your flower, finish the whole thing before you do anything else, all right? If you have a crayon or a colored pencil, you can take a darker shade of green and you can come down the middle of that line where you folded your leaves in half. And those are going to be the veins of our leaves. Leaves have those veins to get the nutrients out of the soil, and it helps bring those up to the flower. And then you can go left and right and left and right. So you have even more veins in your leaves. Okay. So after you have your flower full, go to your leaves with a darker green and add your veins. And then for your final step, you can write Happy Mother's Day at the bottom of your card. Or like on this one, you can take a scrap piece of paper and cut it to the width of your card, glue it down, and write Happy Mother's Day on it. Okay? And then if you did do the card, you can open it up. I put a green piece of paper in there, and then I'm gonna write my own little message on there. Or you can just leave it blank. That is up to you. All right? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Very simple Mother's Day card. And you guys are gonna have so much fun with this. And I can't wait to see what you guys made. Until next time, goodbye now.